Welcome to this special edition of your trusted local podcast. I'm here with Aaron Warner, CEO of ProCircular. Thanks for taking time.
Hi, Kristen. Thank you.
Hi. And so we just did a story together about the dark web. So just to kind of debrief, we kind of went on a little bit of a tour where you showed me some of what's on the dark webs and stuff that you had pre-taken pictures of. What can you describe for people as they're taking time to watch this story about what the dark web actually is?
It's interesting. Everybody has heard the term before, but nobody really has ever seen a lot of these things. So I've tried to put together a collection of just what's out there, but in a safe way so that somebody doesn't get into trouble or somebody doesn't infect their computer or what have you. So it's mostly just a chance to sort of see what's out there, the good, the bad, and the ugly.
And what's the importance in people being aware of what's on the dark web?
I think it makes it real. It helps people to take that extra step to protect themselves if they've seen it firsthand. You can tell people to be careful all day long, but if they haven't seen some risk firsthand, it can be a little difficult to convince them. As you saw in the sites that we looked through, it doesn't take long to figure out, like, wow, this is a real thing. Like, this is a serious business. It's not some hypothetical thing that happens elsewhere.
Absolutely. Yeah. Like you said, makes it more real where you actually are seeing examples of this. And how can people go about protecting their information, protecting themselves from ending up in the dark web?
We like people to use password managers. That's an important piece of it. Locking down your credit rating, which is something that just about anybody can do at this point. Your bank, happy to help you with that. Making sure that wire transfers or anytime you're sending money, that it's done over the phone with your bank. Don't do it via email. Don't try to do it online, like calling, because the bank has seen so much of this fraud. They're pretty good at identifying if somebody is up to something bad. They're pretty good at helping people to say, are you sure, Mr. So-and-so or Mrs. So-and-so, you really want to wire that $5,000? That seems risky. If you just click a link, you don't have somebody to help protect you that way.
That's a good point. And one of the things that was really interesting, I thought in particular that we looked at, was the fact that it's a functioning marketplace.
Yeah, there are reviews. If your shipping takes too long, you get 2 stars, just like Amazon. If the product isn't good, whatever thing it is that you're buying online, you can give them 6 stars, or if it's really good, you can give them 10. So people shop for illicit things in the same way that they shop for stuff on Amazon, 4 stars, 5 stars. Those reviews are a big part of why people buy.
If there's so much bad on the dark web, why does it exist in the first place? What was its original function?
Its original function, the dark web and the internet for that matter, started as a defense research project to connect different parts of the military. That then got used in academia and started to connect up different schools, Carnegie Mellon, MIT, UCSD, some of the University of Chicago, University of Illinois. So it started in academia. That would be in the 60s or 70s. Now, is just like the internet, it's sort of evolved into this place where there are very active social communities online. People brag online. People bully online. There's every bit of normal life has kind of shown up in the internet form. The dark web's another example of that.
They're making these purchases with Bitcoin. We touched about that.
That's right. That's right. None of the illicit stuff that happens on the dark web could be so available if it weren't for Bitcoin or cryptocurrency, really, any kind of coin. Ransomware is another good example. If a bad guy were to hack a hospital and then say, I want $5 million, just drop it into my checking account, it's unlikely that that guy would be around for long, because when he went to go withdraw his money, the feds would be waiting for him. They know who he is. If he says, I need $5 million and I need it in Bitcoin or I need it in Monero, in some cryptocurrency, it's totally untraceable. So you can't figure out who the bad guy is, who stole from you, just based on where the money went, based on what you sent them. So Crypto allows people to be totally anonymous online. If they've done a good thing or a bad thing, you can't tell who you're working with by design. So if you buy something on the dark web, you have to use crypto to do it. If you're trying to ransom money out of a bank or a hospital, you have to use crypto to do it because you want to hide your identity.
What do you think would surprise people most about the dark web?
I think most people are surprised at how similar it is once you get into a marketplace. Getting around the dark web is difficult. It's dangerous. It's a good way to get your computer pretty jacked up. But once you get onto one of those markets, you're like, hey, this is very familiar. And the difference is that instead of home decor, it's pseudoephedrine and drug precursors for sale. Instead of a couch, it's a firearm. So the things that you buy on the dark web are totally different, but the system itself is very familiar. That's kind of shocking to people. I think most people think of all of this illicit stuff being for sale sort of like a dark alley. It doesn't feel much different than buying an Amazon.
Yeah, because it's such a mysterious concept to many people
Yeah.
who haven't been on the dark web.
Yep, yep, yep.
And so when it comes to protecting yourself and your family, we talked a little bit about that, but what about businesses? Because they're targeted a lot too.
Yeah. What's unfortunate is that the smaller the business, the greater the risk. Hackers are genuinely kind of lazy people. They don't like to spend their time trying to hack somebody who's really well protected. It's a pain. So they look for people and companies who aren't well protected. It's much easier to hack a plumbing supply company than it is to hack Google. And you can use the smaller company in Iowa to do a lot more things than you could if you hacked Google. You can use them to go hack other companies. You can use their employee information. You can steal their credit cards of their customers. All of those things are available to a hacker that takes down a company here in Iowa, as opposed to trying to take on some big national firm. So in the past, companies would be able to say things like, I don't think this really applies to us. We don't sell anything in Russia. Why would I care about Russia? Today's world, you have to care a lot because the hacker is targeting not the big company, not the company with all the money. The smaller, the better.
Okay, and we're talking about use of AI as well.
Yes.
And I know a lot more people are hearing about AI in recent years. What role does it play in committing some of these crimes through the dark web?
It, like every technology, has good uses and bad uses. The good news is that AI, we just did a paper on this, AI has improved defense of companies and organizations from cybersecurity somewhere around 90 to 98% over the last 5 years. So it's improved the ability to protect companies drastically. It finds things in huge reams of data that humans couldn't. So for defense, AI is the best thing since sliced bread. Unfortunately, the same is also true for the bad guys. So you can do, just like we sort of watched through together, you can do broader attacks. So it's just as easy to attack 10,000 people as it is a couple. And it allows you to customize those attacks. So rather than sending one email to 10,000 people, I can send an email that's designed for each person 10,000 different times. So I can send one to Kristen and one to Aaron and one to whoever else is out there. Each one of them using AI is customized to that individual, to the target. So you're able to launch broader attacks. You can do quite a bit more, but each one of those attacks is also more effective. AI is a tough one.
Yeah, those custom ones probably look more official, and also they're able to do this in a short amount of time too.
That's right. They automate all of those things with AI and they look really legitimate. It can be difficult to tell what came from Federal Express and what came from a hacker.
What do you think is most important for the average person to keep in mind when it comes to protecting themselves the best way that they can against the dark web or having information taken?
I think it's just taking that moment of pause. A lot of people are in a hurry. It's a busy world. Just realizing, just like at a crosswalk, You know, because there are cars on the street. You got to be careful when you step out. The same thing is true online. If you step out on the internet, think of it as like sitting in a crosswalk. Before you click, you got to look to see if cars are coming, and it's easy to get hit if you're not careful.
Yeah, so taking those precautions, maybe keeping an eye out for suspicious links.
Yes, taking this stuff just a little more seriously, I think, is good for everybody.
Thank you so much. Thanks for taking the time to listen to this trusted local podcast.